Welcome to NFL Superheroes, where I took 8 of the most mightiest heroes from DC and Marvel and threw them into Madden with their own skills reflecting of their powers, such as the Flash, 99 speed, the Incredible Hulk, 99 strength, and the Amazing Spider-Man, 99 catching. These are just 3 of the 8 superheroes in today's video, where we will begin by playing through a regular season with each hero, determining their stats and record, where then we will build an 8-team playoff bracket for the heroes to battle it out, to determine who is the strongest superhero in Madden 24. And also, this video is inspired by the old superhero series that Not the Expert made in the dark medieval times. I mean, seriously, these videos are older than the average Roblox player. Now, the Flash is the fastest, the shiftiest, the most elusive, and the most agile player on the field at all times. His 99 speed, acceleration, and stamina is expected with his superpower, but his reflexes as well makes him more aware of his surroundings, which additional upgrades to change of direction, awareness, and route running. I never watched any Flash content growing up, but apparently the Flash's weakness is the cold, so this dude must play like Aaron Rodgers at Lambeau in January then. So throughout this video, you're going to see all the superheroes are on different separate teams. There's no correlation other than the colors. I just wanted to match the superhero colors, so that's why the Flash is on the Kansas City Chiefs, because they're red and yellow. Now we will begin our first game to test how good the Flash is and how fast he actually is with his 99 speed. Starting with a 1st down and 10 handoff from Mahomes, let's just get it kicked off with a run inside zone to the Flash, and let's just see how much he can pick up here. Kind of shifty, and gets a solid gain of 8 yards. 2nd down and 1, handed it off again, and you can see I get some good blocks, and his speed is showing now as I got him to midfield, 2 rushes with 26 yards already. And from midfield, I decided to get the Flash in the passing game because, as we know, Mahomes' receivers suck this year, and honestly, it works out pretty well, a gain of 9. We're 4th down and inches, I decided to go for it. Obviously, I would go for this, and the Flash gets it again. His only weakness is that he cannot break the tackles, but he is fast enough to pick up these 1st downs. Now a little handoff action here. You can see good blockers downfield, and this is the biggest run of the day so far, which is going to put the Flash at the 35. Just hoping to get one big play out of him, but I decided to stay in the passing game, and I get Flash up to the 1-yard line. He has his X-Factor potential as well. 1st and goal, the 2. We're just going to hand it off again, and it's the easiest touchdown of my life for the first touchdown of the day for a superhero with a Flash. And 2nd down and 2, decide to hand it off again. Good blockers, good speed, and he is a little shifty too, but not until I run into Kadarius Toney, and I am paralyzed on the ground like Superman. But the Flash takes this one up for another touchdown. That's the 2nd touchdown of the game, and over 100 yards already. 17-3, good blocks, and I'm trying to get the outside here. Can't break this final tackle, which would have easily been a touchdown right here as 95 takes me down, but I get to the 10-yard line. We're 4th down and goal once again, just hand up through the middle for the 3rd touchdown, the triple crown, the hat trick for the Flash. He ends with 3 touchdowns. And we end up winning this game 31-3 in a destructive manner. The Flash proving that he's probably one of the best superheroes in this video. But the final stats ended up being 285 yards. I was wrong. I actually got another touchdown, up to 4 touchdowns, 6.7 average on 42 attempts. So now we're going to simulate the regular season with the Flash. Let's see how he does through week 18. And it looks as the Kansas City Chiefs finished with a 12-5 record, but the Flash himself finished off with 1,500 yards, 17 touchdowns off of 283 attempts, which is pretty solid, but it was not good enough as it puts him at 5th place in running backs under Josh Jacobs, Bijan Robinson, Christian McCaffrey, and Saquon Barkley. So now we're going to simulate the wild card round of the playoffs, and I guess the Flash decided not to show up today. He was probably just walking his way through this game, and it kind of makes sense. It was probably cold in Kansas City, and like I said, he doesn't like the cold. I mean, seriously, how do you underutilize a superhero this bad? Only 1 attempt for 6 yards? That's kind of embarrassing. The Incredible Hulk is basically known for one thing, that's destroying things, so it was only appropriate to place him at defensive tackle and max out every single defensive stat that lets him eat up on the O-line and potentially injure the quarterback. These stats include strength, toughness, tackling, pursuit, power moves, hit power. All those stats are now 99s, so essentially we now have another Aaron Donald, but like 10 times as good. Next up is the Incredible Hulk, which I decided to put on the Philadelphia Eagles, even though they already have the Incredible Hulk, aka Jordan Davis, on defense. At defensive tackle, I decided to try to get some pressure on Mac Jones. I feel really bad for Mac Jones. He has to play against the literally Incredible Hulk, but here you have Jalen Carter, who actually comes up with an interception after Mac Jones just handed it to him. It was not going to be a good day for Mac Jones. I mean, to be fair, he probably would have performed the same against a high school team, but now you can see Devontae Parker actually broke through all the tackles, and you already know the Hulk is not going to like this. Trust me, you're not going to like the Hulk when he's angry. So now the Hulk has his X-Factor ability, aka his period, whatever you want to call it, and now things are going to get really difficult for the Patriots defense. They cannot run the football on us. And even though I really didn't do this much with the Hulk this game, as you can see, the defense was just eating him alive, even if the Hulk wasn't contributing on the sack. 2nd down and 10, I get through it finally, but my teammates are too fast compared to the Hulk. I'm getting really mad at this now. And 3rd down and 21, once again, another sack. Mac Jones was just running for his life out there. What can you even do? Later on in the game, I finally get my first tackle, and man, does it feel really good. 3rd down and 15 is where I take him down. And this gives me back my X factor, and I finally get through all the tackles. I'm just going to level Mac Jones, but once again, he just throws it out of bounds. 1st down and 10 at midfield. I'm keep on getting through, and I just level Mac Jones again, and I end up getting a flag called on me. But honestly, that makes sense because I am the Incredible Hulk. I am going to get mad at things. I roughed the passer there. After a few garbage time touchdowns, this game would end 31-24. The score just does not deflect the defensive performance we put up today. Definitely not my greatest performance with only 2 tackles, both being for loss, but like I said, does not reflect how our defense actually played, because look at this. This is the difference. -2 rushing yards. This definitely tells that the Hulk at least made a contribution in defense, because who would rush -2 yards on a superhero? And to end out the season, the Incredible Hulk actually did pretty solid. He had 53 total tackles, 14 of them being for a loss, with 20 total sacks. That's gotta be up there. And sure enough, he was up there, but he wasn't first. He was actually 3rd, under Aaron Donald and Max Crosby. And finishing out the season, the Eagles went 13-4, but they lost the wild card round to the Chicago Bears by a field goal. This is like an alternate timeline of what happened in 2018, apparently. Now, Hawkeye is one of the few superheroes in this video that actually doesn't have any superhuman abilities. He relies on his pure skill as the most accurate sharpshooter superhero. Because of this, Clint Barton will be placed at quarterback, giving him 99 in all throwing accuracies, throwing power, throwing under pressure, and throwing on the run. Hawkeye is also a trained acrobat, which gives him an uplift to his senses and shiftiness with upgrades to agility, awareness, and spin move. So just imagine white Lamar Jackson on performance enhancing drugs. Now, Hawkeye is probably the most fun to play with. He's basically like my 99 overall face of the franchise player in rookie mode. He's just super easy to use, as I have an OBJ completion there, and he scrambles out really fast because he's an acrobat. And look at this dot to Isaiah Likely in the back right corner of the end zone for 6 points. What a throw by Hawkeye. He is the most accurate passer overall, and you can see there's another one right there as he finds it into Zay Flowers, cutting the needle. Already got his X Factor ability, and once again, another easy pass. This one to OBJ. He breaks through all the defense, and that's another touchdown for Hawkeye to Odell Beckham Jr. 14-3 now, looking to make it 21-3, and I just keep on finding open receivers with these easy pinpoint passes. And we couldn't score a touchdown there, but we get the ball back at our own 1-yard line. I have no clue how I did not step out of bounds right here and pull the 2008 Detroit Lions, but nonetheless, it still picks up a good completion to Isaiah Likely to midfield. We're 3rd down and 10, 14-3 still. I'm just looking for that final touchdown. This one's off a wheel route, and we are going to break the end zone here and make it 21-3. It is game time. Speaking of Game Time, Game Time is an e-ticket marketplace that ensures a faster and easier process of getting into your favorite events at a moment's notice. On Game Time, you can land excellent deals on last-minute ticket purchases to all kinds of events, such as sports, concerts, and theater, all in that nature, in which you can land tickets at events spreading over 60 US and Canadian cities. Now, in my experience, buying tickets has always been a struggle. I can never tell if I'm getting good seats, where my seats are located, or maybe whether or not the seats are even worth the money. But with Game Time, those worries are pushed away. And it's not only the fact that you get cheap last minute tickets, but also the fact that the best prices are guaranteed. Additionally, with event cancellation protection. So let's take a look at the app now. Here you can see how user friendly the dashboards are, giving the user a complete peace of mind when going to purchase tickets. You can even see where these tickets are located through these previews. And on a second note, check out these ticket prices. It's pretty evident that Game Time is gifting you an early Christmas present with these prices. I mean, these tickets to a professional football game in Atlanta under $40, and you're sitting parallel to midfield. That is insane. So take the guessing game out of buying tickets with Game Time. You can check out their website at gametime.co, but make sure to download the Game Time app on your phone, create an account, and use code DeansWorld for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and use code DeansWorld. That's all caps. DEANSWORLD for $20 off your first purchase. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices, guaranteed. Thanks to Game Time for today's video sponsor, and let's continue with the video. So yeah, we ended up winning that game 35-23. Hawkeye passed for 363 yards, 4 touchdowns on the 17 completions, and you can see the Baltimore Ravens finished 13-4 playing the Colts in the wild card round. Hawkeye finished the year with 4,000 passing yards and a pretty solid touchdown interception ratio, 33 touchdowns to 3 interceptions, but it really wasn't good enough still. Look at Dak Prescott, 51-5. Anyways, the Ravens would lose to the Kansas City Chiefs, and that's where they get eliminated. Again, Tony Stark has no superpowers. He relies fully on his self-made combat and flight suit and his own IQ. I decided to put him at cornerback considering he would be a lockdown corner if he was allowed to bring his suit, of course. This gives him upgrades such as speed, man coverage, zone coverage, pursuit, jumping, and because he is super smart, he also has 99 play recognition and 99 awareness. Either he will finish the season with like 20 picks, or maybe like 1 because opposing quarterbacks will be so scared to throw it his way. Now it's time for Iron Man. Of course, I put him at the cornerback because he can fly and make plays like this. The first pass of the game, I intercepted as Iron Man, trying to get a return off of it, but you know what? I will take the interception. How about it? Following up after that, I would allow a really easy pass. Definitely not my highest light right there, but it would get called back for a flag thanks to offensive holding. And as you can see, they would completely ignore passing it my way, but I pull a DK Metcalf, go completely across the field and tackle George Pickens before he gets into the end zone. And you know what? We're just going to ignore this highlight right here. Don't worry about it. It wasn't really my fault. I didn't have my thrusters turned on, so George Pickens just kind of burned me back. Or Deontay Johnson, I mean. But into the third quarter, as you can see, I finally made a tackle as I take down Jalen Warren right here, and it's going to close out 10-point lead right now, 2nd and 2, where we ended up winning this game 41-28 thanks to Brock Purdy with all his superpower weapons on offense already, and the Iron Man finished this game with 2 total tackles and an interception. But as you can see, Iron Man actually finished with the most interceptions in the league, which is actually a pretty plus side. This is the first superhero to have the #1 stats in his own category out of everybody in the league, with 8 interceptions and 63 tackles. But as you can see, Iron Man must have got injured in the NFC Championship game. History repeats itself because the Eagles actually just dismantled the Niners 52-7. Spider-Man is one of the most flexible and elusive superheroes ever, which leads me to believe he would be perfect at the wide receiver position. With his web-like hands, I'd imagine he would have no trouble dropping a football, which is why I'm giving him 99s in all catching stats. Because of his ability to swing from place to place in an instant, he also gets max route running stats, and you can't forget the Spidey sense, which grants him 99 awareness on the field. And now it's time for the amazing Spider-Man with Josh Allen throwing the football to him, and honestly, I couldn't expect anything else. I mean, Josh Allen is going to throw interceptions, even if he has literally the amazing Spider-Man as receiver #1. You're going to see a common theme in this video that Sauce Gardner and Amazing Spider-Man actually became a really interesting rivalry for whatever reason, but Spider-Man broke through the entire secondary here, but had to get chased down by Sauce Gardner up to the 44. And I just ran a lot of quick slants and RPOs because they just could not catch up to him. I mean, look how versatile he is. He almost broke through this one to the 20. For 1st down and 10, I decided to target Spider-Man once again over Sauce Gardner. He's a baby. He's not made for this. He's nowhere close on Spider-Man's level. And that's a touchdown for the acrobatic Spider-Man. Getting the ball back 7-6. I'm on X Factor, and I'm just going to keep on babying Sauce Gardner because why not? And on 3rd down and 3, I decided to run for this one. I have Amazing Spider-Man open in the end zone. He has the touchdown, but there's a flag. For whatever reason, this is going to get called back for illegal touching on Sauce Gardner or Amazing Spider-Man. I guess that's the illegal touching right there, or maybe Spider-Man just used his web slinger a little too much, who knows. But you know what, I don't really care because I'll just go back right to him for the touchdown. This time it's official, and the Spider-Man has his 2nd touchdown of this game, where I'm just going to keep on doing this exact same slant pass. They can literally just not guard it. I just completely take down Sauce Gardner with a face mask right there, but who cares? 1st and 10 at 39. We're once again just going to run this slant route. They can't guard it. Easy touchdown. That's a hat trick for Spider-Man. We end up winning this game 27-12. I know MJ in the stands liked watching that one. And just some Randy Moss numbers right here. 200 yards, 14 receptions, and 3 total touchdowns. After simulating the season, the Buffalo Bills finished 13-4. With Peter Parker, or really just Miles Morales in this version, he had 13 touchdowns, 1,300 yards off of 103 receptions. Not as good as I thought he would be, because as you can see, Cooper Kupp, CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Ayuk, Tyreek Hill, and Nico Collins were all above him. Puts him at the 6th receiver in the NFL. And then the Bills would end up losing to the Titans in the wildcard round 24-17. Superman is the most invulnerable superhero to date, flying at top soaring speeds and taking in forces so large like it's a rubber ducky thrown at him. Because of this, I put him at a position where you have to fly off the edge but also be super strong, that being defensive end. His defensive categories will be uplifted to the max, but he also has speed, acceleration, stamina, all the things Flash has, except Superman is like 100 times better. Unfortunately, Superman is on the Dallas Cowboys, which means his new kryptonite is winning a divisional round playoff game. In case you couldn't have told, I really suck at defense, so it's not like I was going to do much with Superman, considering the Cowboys defense was already just destroying Tyrod Taylor, which I don't really know why the Italian Stallion wasn't playing this game, but as you can see, I got really close here, but not before Micah Parsons completely steals my sack. It's either going to be Superman or Micah Parsons. Pick your poison. Next up, as you can see, it's just a horrible game for the Giants offensively. What's new? As you can see, we just got an interception. And even trying my best, still get to the quarterback. As you can see, he's running the complete opposite direction. He is completely scared of Superman, but it doesn't matter because he fumbled the football anyways. Whereas Superman and the Dallas Cowboys would win this game game, 31-16 over the New York Giants. And it really wasn't a bad game for Superman, with 6 total tackles, 2 of them being for losses, and 1 total sack. The Cowboys finished off the regular season the best out of any team so far, 14-3 with the #1 seed in the NFC, putting him in a bye. And Superman finished the year with 64 total tackles, 15 tackles for loss, and 13.5 sacks, which isn't bad, but definitely not as good as I thought. But to be fair, he does share with Micah Parsons. And as you can see, guess what happened? The Dallas Cowboys lost in the divisional round to the Green Bay Packers. That really rings a bell. Like Hawkeye, Bruce Wayne also doesn't have any superpowers, but rather is just a brute force of a fighter. I felt because of his versatility as a tank and a fighter, the tight end position was good for him, giving him stat upgrades to both blocking and receiving categories, such as pass block, run block, lead block, release, strength, toughness, catching, route running, all sorts of stats. I would imagine Batman would be one of the strongest players in today's video. So now we join in from Denver, and it's actually raining, just like every single scene in the Batman movie ever. And there's the Batman right there with the first down pickup. And as you can see, I'm just going to run a lot of tight end attacks because they just couldn't guard him. His release is so fast, he's so acrobatic, and just huge overall. He's a tight end. He's perfect for this position. And you can see he just keeps on rolling up the catches now to the 19-yard line, where first and goal from the 5, just going to hit this little stick route. It's an easy catch for Batman for his first touchdown of the game. Again, 2nd and 10, gonna run play action. This same tight end attack play just keeps on working. He can't break the tackles, however, but he gets a good catch at the 49. Now closing the nighttime, another play action pass. Can you guess what's gonna happen here? Oh yeah, another catch by Batman. He breaks his tackle. This is his best pickup of the day so far, but not before Patrick Surtain has to take him down. First and goal from the 1, same little stick route. It's a second touchdown for Batman. It's nighttime. You know that means the Dark Knight has to show out now. 1st and 10 pickup here for Bruce Wayne. He's up to the 19. And things would just get worse and worse, but Jimmy Garoppolo and Batman would win this game 27-14. What a sentence I just said right there. And as you can see, Bruce Wayne finished with 340 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 21 receptions. That's the best performance I put up with the superhero so far. But to be fair, he was on the Las Vegas Raiders. What did you expect? This is the only team that did not make the playoffs. They finished 8-9. And I can't believe you have a literal superhero on your team and you misutilize him this much, only giving him a total of 4 touchdowns. That means he scored 1 touchdown the rest of the year, because I landed 3 of them in week 1 with only 67 receptions and not even 800 yards. That's kind of embarrassing. And our final hero today is kind of out of left field, but it's Cyborg. Now, I decided I want a superhero to represent the kicker position, and because Cyborg has been mutated into half robot, half human with robot legs, I believe he could possibly kick a football 100 yards. So I'm making Cyborg the star kicker of this video, giving him 99 kick power and accuracy, and we'll just wait and see if Cyborg will come up clutch in this video with any huge kicks. And now for our final superhero, which is a really weird one. It's Cyborg. I'm just going to test how long he can kick the football, so I'm trying to get a range right here. 54 just completely dives into his teammate right there. I don't know what he's doing. But from here, it's about a 67-yard kick, so I'm going to line it up, and let's just see if I can go ahead and nail this one down. And, well, that doesn't really look like a superhero to me. I mean, what even happened there? I was expecting him to nail this one easily, but I guess it's just on me because I did not line it up too good. But, you know, trial and error, I decided to scoot up just a little bit. I believe this one was about a 60-yard field goal, which he knocked it through, and I think that's going to be around his average. He has 99 accuracy there, so honestly, you shouldn't have any trouble with any kick, but that's just what he got from there. And I really didn't care to try to win this game. I was just kicking field goals, which means this is the game I did lose, 22-23. And not looking too good for the stats. I only missed 2 field goals when I was playing, so that means the CPU missed some as well. 3-7, and he hit one long from 57. That was the longest he hit. So the Lions finished 9-8 with Cyborg at the kicker. I mean, it's not like he was really doing much on offense, but definitely kind of underwhelming numbers here. Only 17 made field goals for 21, giving him an 80%, and his long was 57, which was what I literally hit in week 1. And the Lions would finish off their season losing to the Falcons in the wild card, which puts them at 9-8, and that is the end for our superheroes testing. Well, now that we've gone through a regular season with all superheroes, we've now accumulated all their stats, their records, and now it's time to seed them 1 through 8 to build this super bracket. So their seedings are just based off how I think they performed alongside their team record. So in 8th place, I have Batman, who only put up 750 yards, only 4 touchdowns, and I scored 3 of them, and the Raiders finished 8-9, so that's a pretty obvious 8 seed. 7th seed is Cyborg. I really didn't give him much of a chance the game I played him, but he still didn't really do as good as I thought he would. 17 for 21 with 99 kicking accuracy is a little concerning, and his longest was the one I kicked. The only thing that makes him better than Batman is that his team finished 9-8. Now, everyone up is basically really good. Number 6 is Spider-Man, who finished with 1,300 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 103 receptions. His team finished 13-4, but it just wasn't good enough compared to other superheroes. Because in 5th place, then, we have the Flash with 1,500 yards, 17 touchdowns off of 283 attempts. His team was a little bit worse, but he did have more touchdowns and more yards. And now for the top 4, we'll start with Superman at defensive end. He had 64 tackles, 15 of them being for a loss, and 13.5 sacks. And the Cowboys was the best team in this video, finishing 14-3 and getting the number 1 seed, so he gets the 4 seed here. At 3, we have the quarterback Hawkeye, who finished with 4,000 passing yards, but his ratio is what impressed me. 33 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and his team, the Ravens, finished 13-4. Second place will be the Incredible Hulk with 53 tackles, 14 of them for a loss, but the reason why he's up this high is because he had 20 total sacks, which was pretty solid compared to the rest of the league. He finished 13-4 as well as his team. And then number 1, I had to give it to Iron Man because he actually finished first in his skill position. He was the best cornerback. He had 63 tackles with 8 interceptions and 5 deflections, and his team finished 14-3, so he deserves the number 1 seed. So put all those seedings together, and this is the bracket you'll get right here, where the number 1 seed Iron Man will take on 8 seed Batman, 4 Superman versus 5 Flash, 2 Hulk versus 7 Cyborg, 3 Hawkeye versus 6 Spider-Man. These 8 teams right here in 4 matchups, 1 team or 1 superhero will become the best superhero on the bracket. Let's go. So this is a pretty cool scenario because both Batman and Iron Man are on the field right now. Who is that right there? Okay, I thought that was Batman. That's just another wide receiver, Hunter Renfrow. Jimmy Garoppolo gonna pass another one. Has to look out for Iron Man, who is gonna be lurking, but not good enough to cover Devontae Adams. First and 10 to the 13. Jimmy Garoppolo is gonna hand the football off to Josh Jacobs. Easy walk-in touchdown. They gotta go for 2 now. As you can see, Batman is clearly making a difference. Number 15 on the block. He was the reason why Josh Jacobs just easily walked in for that touchdown. So now they need a successful 2-point tries. Jimmy Garoppolo is going to plan out a slant pass, and he's got it. Tie game to Devontae. Well, now there's no superheroes in the field, but who needs superheroes when you have George Kittle? Never mind, he fumbles the football, and this one's going to be picked up by the Raiders, and they are in prime possession to win this football game now. So now Batman and Iron Man both on. I'm not going to see a lot of them, though, because it's just running the football now as timeout number 1 is called. So after taking all the timeouts off the board for the Niners, the Raiders are looking to kick this field goal up as time expires, winning over the number 1 seeded Niners with Iron Man, and Batman and the Raiders will upset, and the 8 seed will move on. I guess Batman is only being used as a blocking tight end, which makes sense because it is working. After all, he's only getting 1 catch per game, essentially, this one for 12 yards. But as you can see, Iron Man had a pretty solid game himself, but it wasn't enough, with 10 total tackles, one of them being a tackle for loss. So now Batman moves on, and he'll await the winner of Superman and Flash. And now between the Chiefs and the Cowboys, Flash is on the Chiefs, and Cowboys has Superman, but there's Kadarius Toney to the 36. The Flash is in the backfield. Will it be a handoff to him, or they keep the passing game going? They'll keep the passing game going, but it's going to Flash. As you can see, he spin moves out of it, but 2 defenders come and tackle him down as he gains 6. The Flash currently has 6 receptions for 36 yards. Maybe Superman can answer back. He is on the right end, as you can see, but he can't make it through as we have another pass completion. This one's gonna be a touchdown? No, dropped at the 1-yard line to Rashid Rice. I would imagine this is the perfect opportunity to hand it off to your superhero in the backfield, that being the Flash. It's an easy walk-in, 99 speed, no problem. All he needed was 1 yard, and that's going to take the lead for the Kansas City Chiefs. And there is Superman right there as he heads back to the bench, only hoping that Dak Prescott gets something going on offense. Fast forward a couple plays later, we have 33 seconds in a pass completion to Jake Ferguson. First timeout's finally called with 30 seconds. Gotta hit the sidelines here or make it to the end zone. Dak is going to step up. No, he's going to stay in the pocket looking for a pass still. Now runs forward, and he has the touchdown. Extra point ties it at 27. Believe it or not, the Cowboys have already made it to the 2-yard line in overtime, but now they're going to go backwards to the 11. Very important play for both sides of the ball. 3rd down and goal. Dak Prescott's going to escape the pocket, going to run for another touchdown. He somehow breaks that tackle with a spin move, and the touchdown is counted for the Cowboys. Now the Chiefs have to respond back. Final play from our first overtime period. Maybe this is going to be a handoff to Flash. No, it's going to be a pass to Kelsey, but it's intercepted, and that's going to end the game. At a return back, Trayvon Diggs doesn't need a score here as it's already over, and Dallas Cowboys with Superman pull off, and I think, an upset over the Flash and the Chiefs. We didn't see much of Superman in action, but it was a pretty solid game from him. He had 5 total tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and 2.5 sacks. I don't know what went wrong with the rushing attack for the Kansas City Chiefs today, but the Flash only had 20 yards, but that was 20 of the 33 30 rushing yards for the Chiefs today. He did have 2 touchdowns, but still, what even happened? And now we'll have a matchup between Batman and Superman. They should make a movie about this. I mean, to be fair, I think we all expected this. Cyborg is literally just a kicker, so it's not like he's gonna help out their team that much, whereas Hulk in this defense is actually pretty scary. Another impressive game by a defensive player, that being the Incredible Hulk, with 7 total tackles and 2.5 sacks. And again, the Cyborg just not being as accurate as I want him to be. He did make 2 for 3 with a long being 58, but I mean, missing 1 with 99 accuracy is kind of sad. So now the Hulk will await the winner between Hawkeye and Spider-Man. Seems that Spider-Man and the Bills only need 1 first down to end this game against Hawkeye and the Ravens. Timeouts are starting to be called now. They're gonna need a pass here. Maybe the amazing Spider-Man can come up clutch with a catch, and it's overthrown, which means Hawkeye is gonna get the football back down by 3. It was intended for Spider-Man too, but that was just a fault on Josh Allen. Essentially, any pass that Hawkeye is gonna throw is going to be a good pass. It's just the fact if his receivers can catch it or not, and here's a catch by a receiver, which looks like to be the tight end, and that's going to be a first down to the 24. Looks like we're playing for overtime as the real Cyborg will kick this one through. Justin Tucker ties it up at 23. Well, the Bills start with the football in overtime, and Spider-Man has redemption. It's not going his way, however, but it is a first down. Spider-Man is currently in the stack with Stephon Diggs to his left, once again going the opposite side of the field to again Gabe Davis with 2 catches in a row. From the 39 in Ravens territory, here's a completion. Is that to Spider-Man? No, it's Gabe Davis again. Well, it's a 3rd down and 9. The current money line is on Gabe Davis to catch this next pass, and they have to get at least 9 yards. Who is it? It is Spider-Man for the touchdown. A much needed one too. Apparently he just went invisible, but that's going to make it a 6-point lead in overtime, and Hawkeye has to respond. Here's Hawkeye on the pass, intercepted by Tre'Davious White. Back-to-back overtime games ending like this, and the Bills and Spider-Man will get it done. I mean, I thought you had 99 passing accuracy. What happened there? You just passed it to basically triple coverage to the X-Factor Tre'Davious White. And that's how this game's gonna end. A relatively quiet day for Spider-Man, as he had 59 yards with 6 receptions in that 1 touchdown we just watched. As for Hawkeye, we've seen better, with 20 completions to 30 attempts, 258 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then that 1 interception we just lost in the game. So here's the final 4 teams. It's down to 2 DC, 2 Marvel. It's gonna be Batman versus Superman, and Hulk versus Spider-Man. Well, you know, to be fair, Batman was on the Raiders, and they are the Raiders, so I didn't really expect much of a fight against the Dallas Cowboys, which means Superman and the Cowboys will make it to the final game. Just a calm little 3-tackle, 1-sack game for Superman. And at least Batman caught more than 1 pass this time, but only getting 26 total yards off of 4 receptions. So Superman represents DC, who will represent Marvel. But we've seen a lot of overtime games today. Here's another one. Amazing Spider-Man and the Buffalo Bills have possession first, and a drop by Stephon Diggs is going to make it 3rd down and 16. Looks like the Bills are in jeopardy. Definitely want to at least get 10 yards here, because if you punt the football, it's not going to be the greatest positioning, but Josh Allen escapes and he throws it out of bounds. It looks like the Eagles will get the ball back. The Incredible Hulk and the defense were able to stop him, and Allen is mad for whatever reason. 3 yards needed. Is it a handoff? It's an RPO. Can he get the first down? I don't think he will. He's going to go backwards. He gains 2 yards though with forward progress, but it's 4th and 1. What a stop by Jordan Poyer. Josh Allen steps back and he delivers an interception. Are you kidding me, Josh Allen? Why? There was only one liability for Spider-Man. That was his quarterback from making a play like that, and it wasn't even going to Spider-Man. It was going to the white dude. Like, why are we throwing it to Dalton Kincaid when you have Miles Morales on the field? Well, it's going to be about a 40-yard field goal kick to win the game and to play Superman in the final game if he makes it, and it is good. The Eagles and Hulk will move on. And a pretty solid game from the Hulk. 5 total tackles, 1 for a loss, and 2 sacks. Well, once again, the Amazing Spider-Man is completely underutilized, as Josh Allen just will not throw him the football. He only got 6 catches for 59 yards, and that was it. So here's our final game. Will it be Superman, or will it be the Incredible Hulk? Well, both defensive players have made it to the final game. Superman on the left outside right now. He can't break it through, and we have an incompletion, 2nd down and 10, as the Incredible Hulk is on the sidelines, only just going to watch his offense hopefully get a touchdown here. 3rd and 5. Jalen Hurts to pass, and he has a completion to Devontae Smith. 1st down and 10 to the 41. They do have to be careful because it is 3rd down and 1, and they only have 1 timeout, but here's a completion off to the races, picked up up to the 35, first and 10, 33 now to Julio Jones. There's only 10 seconds now. Jalen Hurts finally got to start feeling some pressure as he almost throws what could have been either a touchdown or a pick, but it's 3rd and 10. Potentially the final play. Do they bring a blitz with Superman and Micah Parsons for rush? It's going to be an end zone throw up, but it's out, and it's going to be 4th and 10, so this is the final play. Here it is, 20 yards out, needing to get up to the touchdown, but they don't get anywhere close to that, and the Dallas Cowboys with Superman will hold on, winning the Super Bowl 16-10. Superman finished with 5 tackles and 1 sack, whereas the Incredible Hulk, it was a little less with 3 total tackles and 1 sack. So there you have it. Superman ends up winning this bracket out of the 8 superheroes we selected for today's video. Hopefully you guys like this concept. It's very experimental, and I can definitely do more with superheroes if you have any cool ideas. But that's it. Superman wins. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.